76th Constitutional Amendment did not in any way remove or dilute any of the safeguards for the special interests of Sarawak and Sabah as enshrined in Part 12A of the Federal Constitution. Nor take away any of the sources of revenue assigned to Sarawak in the 10th Schedule, nor affect any of the legislative and executive authorities vested in the state of the Federation of Malaya. Let me say this. The present government, as with the previous government, we are very jealous of our autonomy that we enjoy in the Federation. And we will protect it. And we always go back to the Constitution to settle our matters. And that we regard Sarawak as a partner in the formation of Malaysia. I have said this repeatedly, and not a state within the Federation. 1976 Amendment in no way affect this position. Notwithstanding the arrangement that the Honourable Member Pujut complained of, constitutional safeguards remain in force and effect. There could be no alteration of the boundaries of Sarawak without the consent of the state to be expressed by law to be passed by this August House as required by Article 2. The policy decision of the National Land Council and National Council for Local Government shall not be binding on Sarawak, and the national development shall only apply to Sarawak. Shall not apply to Sarawak without the concurrence of the Yang di-Pertuan. The right of the state government to control the entry and residence of the state by non-Sarawakians remain embedded in Article 161E, etc. Even if the National Parliament, they had a two-thirds majority to amend this particular section, even as immigration power. They cannot do it unless we consent. That is one of the safeguards, what is known as the entrenched provision of the Constitution. No amendments shall be made to the Federal Constitution in respect of the executive and legislative power vested in the state, the region of the state, and the special treatment of natives in Sarawak without the concurrence of the Yang di-Pertuan Negeri. Of course, on the advice of the government. The revenue of our natural resources, such as timber royalty, water rates, land and premium, are assigned to the state, and this cannot be taken away without the concurrence of the Yang di-Pertuan Negeri again. Federal-state relationship must be conducted in the spirit of mutual trust and respect for each other's constitutional rights, duties, authorities, and powers. It ought to be on a consultative mode and not a confrontational approach, so as to promote national harmony, peace, solidarity, and stability. In short, the relationship shall be on the basis of render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Meaning, what constitutionally is in the state must not be taken away, and the state must be accorded and receive what is due to the state as decreed by the Constitution. We must therefore take the constitutional position. The issue of Borneoization has been raised by some honourable members, both inside and outside this August House. Borneoization is a term used in the 1960s for the process of phasing out colonial expatriate officers and allowing still to be qualified Sarawakian officers to take over the administration of the state. That process was completed, and by 1969, there were no more British officers in the state public service. Talking about Borneoization, I remember SAGAR in those days. There was a union called Sarawak Government Asian Officers Union, SAGAR. They were fighting for Borneoization. And we have succeeded. That is in relation to British expatriate officers. By 69, 70, there's no more. all the positions were filled by Sarawakians. Now, in relation to people from West Malaysia, our own officers have proven to be very capable of administering the state, and as heads of Minister of the Department, in fact, over the years, Sarawak was so fortunate to have outstanding loyal and dedicated public officers who have faithfully served the state with distinction. Apart from state civil service, there are also federal departments and agencies in Sarawak which are established by the federal government to serve the rakyat in Sarawak and to work with the state departments and bodies in the implementation of federal development projects. These federal government department agencies provide services which the federal government is duty bound to provide for the rakyat in the state, such as healthcare, education, security, issuance of passport, birth and death certificate, etc. Sarawakians have shown they are capable of and qualified to administer and be heads of departments and perform their duty with dedication. For this reason, the state government would like to have Sarawakians heading federal departments where suitably qualified officers are available. In so doing, Sarawakians will have more opportunities to serve the federal government, and this would be a very positive move in fostering national registration, integration, and ensure that the federal government and agencies could develop a much better understanding of the needs, expectations, and the problem of the people whom these departments and agencies are intended to serve. For the information of this House, out of a total of 166 federal departments and agencies in Sarawak, 95 are headed by Sarawakians. We acknowledge that there are heads of federal departments from Peninsular Malaysia who serve the people well and contribute towards the development of the state. So that is the figures. 95 out of 166, more than half. We will pursue this later. As the years go by, there will be more and more Sarawakians qualified, and we will insist that they serve the state in the federal capacity. Now I would like to talk about Petronas. Opposition seems to pay for cold water about our efforts to obtain higher royalty and other things from Petronas. They say that we have failed to get what we want. I suspect that they want us to fail, that they are afraid that we might succeed in asking for 20% royalty. So even before we finish negotiation, even before we are still negotiating and come to a conclusion, they still accuse us of being weak and not strong enough in our negotiation stance. In the last June sitting in November, I announced to this August House that the state government and Petronas have agreed to work out 5 key areas of cooperation to achieve the objective of the resolution. Negotiation on the percentage of royalty. There's some misunderstanding. The increase in royalty is between the state government and the federal government, not between the state government and Petronas. If the federal government agrees to increase our royalty rate, it will have to come from their government take. You see 100 barrels of oil. How much is government take? Federal government take about 100%, 100 barrels, and how much is take? For sure now we got 5%. That means 5 barrels. Minus operating costs, minus contractors, etc., etc. How much of that 100 barrels goes to the federal government? We calculated over 30%. Minus the operating costs and so on. So if they agree to increase, it will come from that 30%, not from Petronas. So it's not relevant to say that we have failed in the negotiation with Petronas. On the other things, like award of contracts, corporate social responsibility, establishment of technical schools and so on, these is for Petronas. And they have agreed with the volume. Petronas, because of our negotiation, have agreed to supply our energy 250 million standard cubic feet per day of firm supply of natural gas for power generation for 20 years at a price of $15 per million British thermal unit with 5.5% escalation per annum based on the principle of firm supply contract, and is also very much lower than the market price if it is sold internationally. So we can get the gas at a much cheaper price. That is part of our success. Petronas is also working out a mechanism to supply 200 million standard cubic feet per day natural gas for non-power sector as raw material for other industries. This is important for the state, especially in realizing our core development agenda as well as our industrialization strategy. The supply of natural gas to the non-power sector will enable Sarawak to develop Bintulu as our petrochemical hub by attracting more petrochemical industries to invest in Bintulu and at the same time attracting more industries to invest in the Semaraja industrial hub. There are two types of gas. One is for power generation and as raw material for other petrochemical industries. They've increased that one and assured the supply. We have, unlike it was before. So we have achieved some degree of success in that one. Petronas has also increased the actual spending value for jobs awarded to Sarawak companies from 2.1 billion in 2013 to 2.4 billion last year. This is an increase of 0.3 billion from the baseline value of 2.1. 2.1 in fact is a baseline value. That means it cannot be less than 2.1. Work of construction contract to Sarawak companies. In the first quarter of 2015 alone, Petronas has already spent 350 billion for the same purpose. Petronas will continue to improve and increase the value of contracts awarded to Sarawak companies. So Sarawak companies will have priority over 2.1 billion worth of contracts. And that is the baseline. If they can do more, they can give more.